Welcome to the Golden Road Podcast.
We fell in love at a wedding,
walked across America,
and now travel full-time in our self-converted school bus.
We've got a lot of stories to tell, so let's get to it. Welcome back to episode 2 of the Golden Road Podcast. I'm Grace.
And I'm Matt, and it is great to have you guys back. If you joined us last episode, we talked about our introductions, kind of who we are, how we got started, and then getting Grace and I down to California.
Yeah, today we're going to be talking about our time in California, but before we talk about that, we got to tell you about where we are right now. We are currently in the Great Sand Dunes National Park in Colorado.
Yeah, we haven't totaled up the days yet, but we've spent probably the last 40 to 45 days, I'm guessing, in New Mexico. And here we are in Colorado, one of our favorite places.
And New Mexico was getting hot, and so we thought, oh, Colorado's going to be really nice. Okay, well, whoa, it's cold in Colorado.
And we've been to the Great Sand Dunes before, but it's a completely different experience. It's super windy, so we went out there. Let's just say we're glad we have a warranty on our new lens.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, first of all, it was so windy. I'm still getting sand out of my cornea. Like, it was just so horrible. And then we set up the camera. We were so excited. We bought this new long lens, and I have been dreaming of the photos that we were going to get at the Great Sand Dunes. And we set up the lens. All we're doing today is just testing out spots. It wasn't even actually trying to get the actual photo. We're maybe 10 feet away from the camera. Camera, huge gust of wind, takes it down, flops into the sand, snaps the giant lens off.
And what do you think about... So, we were here before, and it was one of Foxy's favorite places. And we said we hope she likes it the same because now she's older. But we always thought this would be the spot for her ashes. Now we took her out there in the backpack. She got out.
She had fun.
She got excited.
It was just because it was literally so windy.
Yeah.
That's not fun for anybody, especially when the wind's at eye level with you when you're so small.
No. But
Nemo had a blast.
Nemo had a great time. We threw her pack on since we're training for the Colorado Trail here in about a month.
Yep.
And I think we have enough time.
Yeah, I think
like
so
June 1st, we're right there.
Yeah.
Little bit nervous. But not in a bad way.
No.
And I think if we can get our trainings in.
And right after, we get to go hang out at our honeymoon. So we can literally be so sore. All we have to do is get until August 14th.
Yeah. But
power through to then.
Nemo did really well. She had her pack. We filled in 0.5 liters of water on each side. So I'm not even sure what she's going to pack, but she's going to have at least her 2 liters of water, probably her first aid kit, like whatever we think she needs to have, and food, which we need to figure out what that's going to look like. But we'll do that when we do the shipping stuff.
Yeah. Okay, well, I think this is a good time to start talking about our time in California.
Yeah, and if you guys have any questions, if you can drop them below, is that possible?
I don't know.
It should be.
We're new to the podcast.
We're new to the podcast style, but we would like to hear your feedback. Whether you follow us or you want to shoot us an email, let us know because we want to improve and we want to make this entertaining. And
The Golden Road with 2 G's on all social media platforms and at gmail.com.
Yes, shameless plug. Okay, let's get into it.
Last thing we talked about was we were at the leasing office, and then we were about to go right when we got back into the apartment. We dropped everything off, and then I didn't have Foxy yet, so this was just Matt and I. I was gonna fly back and get Foxy and fly her back, and so we went to like Ross.
How long
did
we not have her for now?
Just like 2 weeks.
Okay. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Because I went to Vegas before I came out, and there was no way for me to go hang out with my brother and his wife without, there was no place for Foxy to be.
Yeah, but yeah, so we're there. We kind of quickly. I feel like we quickly got the apartment together, with the exceptions of a few pieces.
Yeah. We did a good job at kind of waiting though too, making sure we chose pieces we really liked.
Yeah, I think so. There was nothing we really didn't use.
Yeah. We had a super cute little backyard. We made a little oasis. When we first moved in, there were so many hummingbird trees, and then they cut so many of them down, and we were so sad.
Think how awesome that would have been.
I know.
They were literally these massive trees.
They were so tall.
They cut them all down. I don't know if it was the roots underneath the buildings or what it was.
That's what they said.
But, oh man, yeah.
You know what else? We said that gate wasn't fixed the whole time. You know what else we never got to use? The pool.
Yeah, once COVID came... It was like about. Was it going to open in March? Was it that warm down there yet?
They were fixing something, or it was about to open. I don't know.
Sorry, excuse me.
Matt just decided now would be a good time to start eating a clementine.
It's good. These ones are good. Yeah, but I guess let's talk about California as a whole.
Yeah.
So, just reminding everyone, I decided to go down there because my buddy got a head coaching job down there at Buchanan High School, and it had always been one of our goals to go down there or to coach together, and it worked out perfectly for me because I had nothing tying me down, and so that's why I was able to move down there. And then obviously Grace's best friend too, Allie, is also down there. Yeah. And so we're like, yeah, that'd be cool. Different for me, different for you.
Yeah.
And
it was interesting. Like, we didn't really make a lot of friends, but like also it wasn't really a good situation. One time, Matt and I went out on a date, and we were sitting at this patio, and we got a couple drinks, and we were eating, and I thought the waitress was so nice, and so I wrote on the back of the receipt, I said, "Hi, I just moved here. If you want to be my friend, text me," and I never got a text.
You did that a couple times.
Did I?
I think two. I think you did twice.
So I tried to make friends.
Yeah, but
I feel like I would never do that nowadays.
Also, it's just hard. I mean, I feel like it's hard for anybody to make friends because
especially as an adult.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and think about what we're doing. You had just gotten down there.
I was working remote.
You're working remote. So that was actually a bigger thing. At one point, you were like, you really needed to go and you wanted to do a co-working space.
Yeah.
And then you were thinking about doing some of the classes. You got the class pass. You did it a couple times. And then really at that point, I think COVID hit.
Yeah.
And then we were together and it was kind of pushed to the side.
I was really trying to go outside my comfort zone. I will say it was interesting moving to California. Not normally a very confident person. And when we moved there, it did make me more confident just because I thought no one knows me. I just moved down here. Blah, blah, blah. I don't know. But, yeah, I never really made any of those connections. My biggest complaint about California was how dirty it was, the pollution, and the fact that a lot of people didn't wave back when I'd be on walks or something. Yeah,
California is just one of those places that everyone's in their own world. They've got so much going on and so much to do that even waving at someone, and granted, there's certain places where that happens more.
Yeah.
But
not trying to make a blanket statement over the whole state, but majority.
But yeah, and I mean that's not just Clovis. That's also, how do you feel about San Diego? People still weren't walking around waving at each other.
No, people were more nice near the beach, just because people are happy and stuff. But we did think San Diego was nicer. I think up in the mountains was nicer because you get the mountain people, but just down in the cities and stuff was just not very. And the traffic was crazy. Literally, the normal roads, the normal speed limit in most places, I feel like is 35, 40. It was 45, 50 all the time.
And that's like down by the schools.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But my biggest thing was just how many people, and I think that in turn turns to no one waving at you.
Yeah.
Also, but I mean, Grace and I had a great time still. Like, we did almost everything together. We did do everything together.
Yeah, we were weekend warriors.
We went to Yosemite. We went to Kings Canyon. Did we go to Saguaro?
Sequoia.
Not Saguaro. Oh.
We went.
You're right. We didn't go to the Redwoods.
No.
We didn't go to the Redwoods.
We went down to the one. We went to Monterey.
Yeah.
But not I would have done more. We were doing a bunch of those weekend trips, and then we went to Paso Robles. We booked this super cute hotel room. We took Foxy down. We were doing wine tasting and stuff. And then we got pretty drunk, actually. That was funny. Because those wine tastings really snuck up.
Yeah.
Because we didn't eat any food. We weren't going to taste any wine.
That was a fun little town.
Yeah, that was really fun. But then we went into this one place to do wine tastings, and I remember the lady said, "I don't know, but I just got an email from the governor saying that all restaurants have to close." And I remember we were sitting there. We weren't sure if she was kidding or what the heck was going on. We were so confused. And we had to get sent home. And that was when we found out about COVID.
Now, okay, before we go into that story, did us going for our first camping trip, did that happen before that or after that?
I don't know. It was Nevada.
No, remember when we tried going to the coast camping?
That wasn't our first camping trip.
That wasn't?
No, our first camping trip was the hip camp up in Nevada, I think.
Okay.
But I don't know.
Interesting.
But timeline-wise, I don't know when that was.
Okay, sorry everyone. Looping back in. Paso Robles.
But yeah, we were there, and then I remember we went back to the hotel, and we were thinking, what the heck do we do? And then friends and family started texting us, like freaking out, kind of. And then we drove back the next day, and we stopped at one grocery store, and there was a huge.
It was insane.
Nuts. So we thought, okay, what the heck? So we left. We went to a little bit nicer part of town where and there was not a line, but it was ransacked, absolutely empty.
Yeah.
Because we figured maybe less people would be there, but no, it was like we bought bologna, and I don't even know what else. Plus, I'm allergic to so much stuff, so we couldn't find that much.
We were eating, I mean, you really couldn't find any meat. Literally, the only meat we could find was the bologna meat.
Yeah.
I don't even remember. What? Cereal, maybe?
Yeah. And then I remember you being nervous because you went back to work at first. They didn't like stop it at first.
No.
And so you went back, and so we didn't really know. And I was watching the news at home every day, so I was getting nervous. And then then they shut everything down. And then we had our COVID time, we did we did so many crazy activities. We did a morning challenge every day.
Well, and during this timeline as well. Are we going to talk about the walk across America, or we're going to loop that back in on the next episode?
That was before the pandemic.
Yeah, so a little bit we're a little bit out of order here, but if you're still here, hey, here we go. Let's keep it going. COVID hit in March.
Yeah.
Now before that, though, Grace moved in October. We had been talking 2 months after that about we need to think about some adventures we want to do. What are some big things we want to try to see? Then I read the book To Shake the Sleeping Self by Jedediah Jenkins. This was January.
Yeah.
So this is before the pandemic hit, and I had read about this book, and we get asked this question a lot, like, what is the main reason you decided to walk across America? And we might not dive into that on this episode, but timeline-wise, January here, read this book. He bicycled from Oregon down to South America, which is awesome. But the main part that I remember really is in the first couple chapters, and I don't even remember how much he talked about it. A paragraph maybe.
Maybe I didn't read it.
About how his parents walked across the United States, and they were one of the first people to document it. They had National Geographic going with them. And I was like, man, that'd be cool just to film it from our perspective, because everybody who does that sort of thing, it's all different. All the stories are different. Everything. It's a unique. No one has the same
experience.
Unique thing every time.
Yeah.
Even if it's the same kind of idea.
Yeah.
And everyone who decides to do something like that does it for a different reason too.
Yeah.
But I was just like, man, that'd be cool. And I was just thinking, I already knew at that point that you were adventurous and you would be down for something like that. We had talked about the PCT and stuff like that, I'm sure. And mind pond. Blew me back in.
Oh my gosh.
I'm watching you stack the orange peels over here.
No, I was listening. That's how I listen. Just so everyone knows, the mind pond is when Matt and I first met, every time we would lose focus, I would say mind pond, go fishing for fish in the mind pond. I remember it was.
And now it doesn't work at all.
No.
In fact, it scares me away from the pond.
I know. Oh my God.
Okay, I'm coming back in.
Okay.
No, I'm coming back in.
Yeah.
Unless you want to pick up here.
Well,
but go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead.
Okay. I brought this idea up to Grace before I went to work because I was so excited. I was like, man, this would be cool. So Grace was still laying there about 7 o'clock because I probably got to the school 7:10. So I forget. It doesn't matter. And I was like, hey, would you want to walk across the United States? And she's like, what? And I was like, it could be cool. We could sell our stuff and walk across the United States. And she's just like, I've got to think about it. I'm like, of course. Yeah. Okay, go ahead. And when I got home, I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, I had a whole plan. I had everything. We'll dive into that more when we actually talk about our start of our walk. But yeah, we had a whole plan for it. We had pretty much, I guess we don't have to talk about more of that. I was like, let's raise my, trying not to say the word like. I was saying, let's raise my.
That is something we're trying to do this episode. I've been trying to make some sort of a note in my head.
It was pretty bad in your story, but other than that, I feel like you've been doing better. I just did it.
I do bad in the stories because I think the word like kind of, for me, puts it in the situation. And I'm not saying it's a good thing.
Yeah.
But, okay.
Anyway, sorry, we have the world's worst ADHD. Again, if you're still here, hey! Okay, yeah, so we came up with the whole plan. We literally started planning right away. I mean, as soon as we decided we're walking, it was game on. And then we were excited, and we had something to look forward to and stuff. And then when the pandemic hit...
2 months later.
Yeah, it really never... Everyone had asked, are you going to walk? Are you going to keep walking? Are you going to, still do that? And it never crossed our minds not to, even with everything going on. Because we were going to be outside, just the two of us. We're not trying to go hang out with people. It just was never we never thought no.
And we just thought, hey, I mean, we're already getting, we're done here. We felt our time in California was going to be done at that apartment
we weren't
when it was done.
feeling the energy. The town wasn't giving us anything.
No, so that October, we're either walking or what else are we going to do? And we already told
Besides
everybody.
our friends. Obviously, we loved our friends, but the town itself wasn't giving us anything.
Yeah. And it's like we need to walk this thing, and we can. It'll be the perfect time to do it. Honestly, there'll be no one out there.
Yeah.
We're not trying to see a bunch of people.
Yeah.
Now
we never really trained for the walk, but we did every now and again. We would go on some long walks around Clovis.
Yeah.
We tried to do one.
When did we get more serious about that?
Never really. Honestly, the closer we got to the walk, the less serious we got. Yeah. We just started, hitting that pen. we were because we gave up weed on the walk, and so gave up makes it sound crazy, but I mean we didn't technically. Things happened anyway. We'll explain those stories later, but we had all the intention of not doing anything on the walk, and so we thought, well, hey, and so we just enjoyed our last month in the. We were still productive.
Yeah,
but we didn't go on long walks.
And I mean, to be fair, I was still working out. I had the bands. We were going to the park.
Yeah, we were.
We weren't not doing nothing.
Yeah.
And at that time too, we were still doing sponsorship stuff. We were still solidifying things.
We were
making
working
sure
nonstop on the computer. Yeah.
But I mean, training wise, it also again never crossed our mind to we needed to go out and do X number of days for this many miles.
Yeah.
Your body gets used to that sort of thing.
There's not really anything you can do to prepare yourself. I mean, you can be more prepared, but...
Now, you could definitely go into it out of shape. Let's not say you couldn't.
Yeah.
We're always in some sort of shape.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But you could still do it even if you're out of shape. You're 100%. Just going to be slower.
And it might just...
It might hurt more.
Go less miles the first few days. Yeah. Don't be in a rush.
You can do anything.
Yeah.
Anyways, we wanted to save what we were talking about. We started diving into the walk, which some of it was relevant from the time we were in California. Most of that time there was spent preparing. But
I love that switch you just had.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, that was nice. Wow.
Oh.
That was crazy.
And now it's ruined. No, I'm just kidding.
No, continue.
I don't remember what I was saying.
We were going right into... We didn't want to give away too many more details on the walk. We're going to save that for next episode. But here's kind of a few of our takeaways from California.
What was your favorite memory from California?
My favorite memory, one of the more memorable ones, was us driving down to the beach thinking we were going to go camping.
Oh, yeah.
It's more memorable.
Yeah,
it wasn't even a bad time. I mean, we still had a great time.
Well, it started off with Matt kind of helped me prepare, but then it was mainly my job to kind of get everything ready because Matt was working and he wasn't.
Because we had basketball camp on, was that a Saturday?
Maybe.
It was like Friday almost all day and then Saturday till 2 or 3 p.m. And then I had to clean up help Brooks clean up the gym.
Yeah.
And then I had to come home and we were going.
Yeah. So we packed up the car really quick and we started driving. We were going, feeling good, just excited to be, going out on an adventure. We had, a 3-hour drive, 4-hour drive?
About 3.
And we drove out. It was really beautiful. But then we started driving down the one and we are getting so car sick. Even Foxy's getting car sick. It's just... twists and turns and twists and turns, and we couldn't find a campsite because it was also a holiday weekend, and we weren't.
It might have been Memorial Day, right around this time of year.
We weren't even thinking about, we were newbies, and we weren't even thinking about things being packed. Everything was packed, obviously. We couldn't find anywhere to sleep. So then finally we get more into Monterey, and we pull off and just a little side pull out, and that's when we get into the back of the Kia to sleep.
Yeah, and it's probably, you think it was 10 o'clock this time? 9:30?
Yeah, probably.
Pitch black, black at this point, 9:30.
Yeah.
And we're back there. We kind of set up the blankets. We're exhausted. It was just draining. We all
We're
have
both uncomfortable,
headaches.
but neither one of us really wants to be the one to say it.
Yeah. And hey, we had some barbecue beans though, and also I had just gotten Grace a Kershaw knife.
Yeah, for Christmas. So
Now we didn't want to use this knife.
no, but we forgot a can opener, and that was the only thing that we had to eat, and we were so hungry. And then the cold hot dogs. We were eating cold hot dogs.
So we doled.
That's what we fed Foxy too.
Yeah, and we doled that knife so bad.
Yeah.
I think we just tossed it.
Yeah, and then we got into the can though. We ate the beans, and then we were sitting there, and it was just kind of silence. And then I kind of secretly looked on my phone. And I looked in the maps, and I put where we were to home. And I looked at Matt, and I said, "We could be home by X time if we left right now." And he looked at me. It was kind of like,
And we both of our eyes were just kind of like, yes.
yeah.
And then we just both got up so quick.
Except this is so classic Matt, because it'll be early morning drives or let's make
I
this
already know what you're about to say,
It's-
and I don't think you're right on this story.
No, I know I'm right.
You think I fell asleep?
I know you did.
We stopped and got energy drinks.
Yes, I know. And you were like, it's not working. I don't know. And because I remember I was singing music super loud, but then every now and again I would say something to you, and you would kind of like try to pretend to be awake. But
Babe, you
not
should have
awake.
looked over at your man and said, wow, he helped all these kids with basketball today, and then he made this trip with his family.
Whatever. And then we got home and we passed out. I'm pretty sure we slept in the next morning. That was when you still kind of slept in there.
How? Because it was still during COVID stuff. Pretty prime.
Well, and our loft in our apartment was pretty dark, and so I could get you to sleep in.
Well,
it.
yeah, but again, the cool thing was we were on our own schedule. We had some late nights.
Yeah.
And we were still doing stuff, but
Yeah.
we had that luxury of being able to sleep in and choose those days.
Yeah.
But
I feel like we could have that luxury now.
if we schedule things right, I think it could be extremely beneficial.
Yeah.
I really do. But I wouldn't sleep in. But what I would do in the morning is I would use that as my personal time, and I wouldn't worry about work at all.
Yeah.
And I would just read. I would write. I would just drink coffee, eat breakfast, relax,
Wow.
and then. But we have to have some sort of routine in place, because if we don't have something after that, then I'm stressed as hell because I feel like we have to do something.
Yeah. Anyway, Tangent, if you're still here, hey! Okay. But yeah, that night ended, we got home. That's one of my favorite memories too. My favorite, oh, sorry.
No, go ahead, yeah.
My favorite memory, I think, is when we took Foxy down to San Diego, to the San Diego Dog Beach, and we went to that little restaurant, and she got a little dog rib.
That was nice. The weather was great, too.
Yeah, it was perfect. She had the best time ever. She literally was so tired that we had to take her home because she got exhausted. She was okay with Matt touching dogs the whole time, and then all of a sudden, something just snapped in her, and these dogs came up to Matt, and she lost it. Like, how dare you pet these other dogs? Only talk to me right now. But then the next day we brought her back, and she got so excited when we drove up. Remember that when we came in the parking lot?
Oh yeah, she loves it there.
She absolutely had the best time ever.
Yeah.
It was sand, dog park, and water all combined into one.
Now my overall thing with California, right? We lived there for about a year.
Yeah.
We visited there on different occasions, been to different spots. As much as these other states we visited, no,
Yeah.
but quite a bit. I think there's a lot of cool things there.
Yeah, a lot of cool landscapes.
I also think
It's expensive.
it's very expensive, and there's a lot of people, and it's just a different place. It's a different country. It
The
really
pollution is what bothers me the most. I mean, I literally had to go to the doctor because I was struggling to breathe, and she goes, "Oh yeah, it's normal for you to develop asthma when you move here." Like, that is a problem.
Yeah. Now, my view on California is I wouldn't live there.
No, I wouldn't.
If we had a couple $1 million for a home in San Diego, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I would live in San Diego for sure. But also, I don't know.
I don't know. Also, I don't know either.
I could see us going back. Like, that could have
So
just been the
true.
joy of that. And we
So
had the
true.
Kia. We were at an Airbnb. That totally makes the experience different than
100%.
if we're in the bus or whatever.
But yeah, 100%. You're right. So I probably wouldn't live there. I guess, yeah. But if you have the money to do so, and I hope when we are able to do California as a state for our Us and a Bus tour, and we can spend some time there and do some things, it's worth visiting.
Yeah.
But,
oh, yeah.
But understand it's going to take you way longer to do it, and it's going to be way more expensive than other states.
And I think coming from someone, being in Iowa, I always thought of California as this just beautiful Hollywood. You have this image in your mind from the movies, and just, maybe you have friends who have moved there and they make it look so awesome. I'm not saying it wasn't an awesome time for them, but like it definitely always seems as a nicer experience, and it is nice. It's nice out all year round. How can you be unhappy when it's freaking sunny out? But there are a lot more cons than I think you realize until you get there. And I think that abruptness at first, like for me, when I was first driving down the interstate and I just saw the trash everywhere, I was just hit abruptly. And it's not that I don't like that state or don't think there are areas that are beautiful or don't think there are kind people. It was just an abrupt difference to me because it was like as dirty as countries I've visited. And I don't know, that just surprised me so much because I always thought of California as this just, oh, California, tangent, but
well,
not really.
Not really. I feel like my voice is echoing off of our barbecue Iwatani grill. Now, I would say this: if California's been something that you want to go and you want to soak it in, you wanted to live there or something,
do it. But
I wouldn't commit to like buying something long term. I would go for a month-long Airbnb.
Yeah, that'd be good. And even you could do a month long in a
couple
bunch of different
spots.
places. Yeah, because there are so many different areas. That's what I really liked about living in Clovis was we were in a pretty central spot and going to be able to visit all those different places. Because they're beautiful places, but I truly think if you don't have money, it's not going to be a fun time.
Yeah, and again, doing that Airbnb thing would be costly as well to do it. Yeah. If you could do it.
Unless you're camping. If you don't have money and you're camping, that's okay because you're going to be able to find more stuff. You just need to make sure you schedule it because it gets busy.
Yeah, but I just and I don't know for sure because I know some of our friends on social media have shared some cool spots in California that I just like didn't expect for camping. But there's not as much as Colorado. There's not as much as Arizona.
Wyoming, Nevada, Mexico.
You're still going to be paying more money for RV resorts. There's no way around it.
Yeah. Or even campsites.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I don't know. Yeah, it's one of those places where I do... Like, when we go there, I have fond memories, and I had a great time. I really did, but...
I don't take anything back whatsoever.
No, but I do still have, like, a mixed, do I love it, or do I... There's just so much going on there, and it's not necessarily good.
Yeah.
And I think maybe that's part of it, too.
Yeah. But, anyways, that's kind of California in a nutshell. We really... as a couple, grew a lot in that time.
Yeah. We freaking lived together.
Yeah, we lived together. I mean,
we got COVID. We were locked down 24/7 together.
We didn't get COVID?
No, we didn't. But because of COVID, we were locked down.
Oh, yeah. And we had our own little growing pains there.
I spent a couple of times in the closet.
Yeah, Grace goes to the closet and turns the lights off, and if you say Grace and you don't hear something, that's where she is. And she doesn't have that in the bus. That's been kind of
today I went under the blanket, and that was kind of nice.
Yeah. But there's growth with everything. I know I'd like to end it with that because I know we said California's a little dirt. They got some things going on.
So does everywhere.
But California was such a great place for us.
Yeah.
This bus has been such a great place for us. I'm excited to grow. I've really enjoyed this podcast episode number 2. Thank you to anyone who has continued listening.
Hey.
Anything else from you, Grace?
I don't think so. Next episode, we're going to talk about our very first beginning of the walk across America and probably just the whole state of California in that walk.
Yeah. As always, if you guys want more information, if you want to follow along in real time, make sure to follow us on all of our social media platforms at The Golden Road with 2 G's.
You heard the man.
We love you guys. Until next time.
Bye.